Some say that childhood sweethearts can never compete with sudden romance. Before, I would have scoffed at that saying. But now, sitting in the studio, watching Jiang Qi look at Qing Xianran dancing gracefully on stage, with tenderness and love hidden deep in his eyes that he couldn't conceal, at this moment, I believe it. I also believe the rumors that Jiang Qi, who bows to no one, had softened and humbled himself before Qing Xianran in an empty stairwell. The feelings I harbored for him, too late to confess, will have to remain buried in my heart forever. As the dance ended, I joined the audience in applauding the radiant girl on stage. Jiang Qi stood up and left his seat, probably to find Qing Xianran. I also got up and left the studio. Stepping outside, I raised my hand. A small gourd-shaped trinket dangled from my wrist, swaying in the breeze. Tang Tang, here. For you. I had asked him curiously, what's this? 7-year-old Jiang Qi, after watching a soap opera with his aunt one day, had remembered something called a token of love. Giving this to Tang Tang. From now on, Tang Tang can only like me. I will always protect Tang Tang from now on. My eyes stung. I took it off, holding it in my hand. Children's words shouldn't be taken seriously. But I took them seriously. Jiang Qi, the little tyrant who bowed to no one, was the joy and secret of my entire youth. Qing Xianran transferred to our school this semester. She was pretty and a dance student. Her arrival caused quite a stir right away. Back then, the girls in class even said Qing Xianran was like the female lead who transfers schools in those campus stories, well-behaved, and then catching the eye of the school's unruly bully. Then the bully would bend the knee for the good girl. At that time, many people were chasing after Qing Xianran. Someone even joked that only brother Qi was missing from the list. Jiang Qi stretched lazily, glanced at the person who spoke, and said, "Does she deserve it?" See? How arrogant he was back then. I hadn't believed Jiang Qi and Qing Xianran were together before, because I hadn't seen it with my own eyes, hadn't heard him tell me with his own mouth that he was with another girl. But now, I knew. It was time to rein in my heart and keep my distance from Jiang Qi. I used to walk home with Jiang Qi. I forgot when it started, but Jiang Qi always found various reasons for me to go home first. Actually, he could have just told me. I wouldn't have clung on desperately. After all, he and I were never together. Returning to school on Sunday, homework was due for evening self-study. Jiang Qi was the rebellious type. His standard reply to the class representative was, "Didn't do it." Before, Jiang Qi listened to me. Everyone knew that, so whenever this happened, they'd come and tell me. It was the same now, but they couldn't even find Jiang Qi. Because as soon as class ended, he went out to find Qing Xianran. Wan Tang, Jiang Qi didn't do his homework again, and we don't know where he is. Could you just hand the homework directly to the teacher? I smiled and shook my head. From now on, if he doesn't do his homework, don't tell me either. Hearing this, they could only nod. After all, the rumors about Jiang Qi having a girlfriend seemed true. Seeing my attitude, they were even more convinced. When class started, I lowered my head to work on test papers. Before Qing Xianran appeared, I had wanted Jiang Qi to take the college entrance exams and go to Beijing with me. Now, I had to work hard on my own to get into Beijing University and achieve my dream. Jiang Qi didn't come back for the entire evening self-study. The teacher on duty frowned and asked where Jiang Qi had gone. Everyone in the class looked at me, but I never lifted my head. Second period, Jiang Qi finally came back from outside. He sat in his seat without a word until a classmate told him the homeroom teacher wanted to see him in the office. He snapped out of it then, pausing slightly as he passed by me. I didn't look up, because I was working on a difficult math problem. I could only solve the first part of the last question, my mind always went blank on the second part. After I figured it out, my desk mate quietly leaned in and cautiously asked what was going on between me and Jiang Qi. Nothing. Really? But before, you were more worried than anyone when Jiang Qi didn't do his homework or skipped self-study. My desk mate looked unconvinced. I was momentarily dazed, then told her, that was before. I won't interfere with him anymore. Ah. She gasped, covering her mouth. So, Jiang Qi's girlfriend is really Qing Xianran? I lowered my eyes and said nothing. After the bell for the second self-study period rang, Jiang Qi slowly walked back to the classroom. A little while later, I received a note, leave first after school. Seeing the content, I calmly put it away and continued working on my test paper. After school, the classroom was always especially crowded and noisy. I was packing my things at my seat. Suddenly, the classroom fell silent. Following my deskmate's gasped whisper, I looked towards the door. Qing Xianran stood there. She tilted her head slightly, crooked her finger at Jiang Qi, then left. I couldn't help but glance towards Jiang Qi. He just smiled helplessly and followed her out. Then the classroom erupted in noise and discussion. Wow, so it's true. I used to think Jiang Qi and Shenwan Tang were a good match, the school bully and the top student good girl. But now, the bully with the dance student seems even more fitting. Don't be so fickle. But, does anyone else think Shenwan Tang is a bit pitiful? They grew up together, after all. See, childhood sweethearts really can't compete with sudden romance. My deskmate pursed her lips, trying to comfort me. I slung my backpack over my shoulder. My heart ached terribly, hurt unbearably, but I had to smile, couldn't cry. I couldn't let anyone see how upset I was, or I'd become the laughingstock tomorrow. I'm fine. Jiang Qi and I were never anything more than friends. I'm leaving now. See you tomorrow. Worry still lingered in her eyes. She waved. See you tomorrow. Be careful on the way. Walking out of the noisy campus, I clutched my backpack straps tightly, gritting my teeth. But the tears still wouldn't stop. My heart felt clogged, aching so much. How did he suddenly come to like someone else? My vision blurred, but my ears still echoed with the clear, arrogant voice of a young boy. Master Jiang can do anything. Shen Tang is someone Master Jiang will protect forever. Shen Tang, why didn't you wait for me this morning? Jiang Qi was late this morning. After class, he came over, said it plaintively, and placed a carton of milk on my desk. My hand, memorizing vocabulary, paused. From the corner of my eye, I glanced at the milk. I've already had breakfast. Also, I won't be walking with you in the mornings anymore. I'll come to school very early. Jiang Qi sat in the seat next to mine, seemingly not understanding what I was doing. He propped his head on his hand and looked at me. I haven't done anything to upset you lately, have I? We always walked together before. It's different now. I put down my pen, took a deep breath, forced a smile, and said to him, you have a girlfriend now. We should keep our distance. His expression froze for a moment, then he reacted. She won't mind. She knows about you too. I mind. I said to him, word by word, I don't want to become the target if something goes wrong in your relationship later. Shenwan Tang. Jiang Qi actually had a very bad temper, no patience. Talking this much to me probably meant his patience was wearing thin. So now, his face cooled, and he abruptly stood up. The screech of the chair against the floor was harsh. He threw out one sentence. Fine, suit yourself. I lowered my head and silently closed my eyes. Last night, I had sat on the balcony, letting the wind blow all night. Should I continue, like a fool, to hide my feelings for him and stay by his side? Or should I just end this childhood bond here? They say you can't hide the look of love in your eyes. If I kept following him, it wouldn't be fair to me, and it wouldn't be fair to Qing Xianran either. No girlfriend would like having an overly close friend around her boyfriend. From that day on, Jiang Qi never actively spoke to me again. Even when we passed in the hallway, he just ignored me. The girl who used to follow him had changed from me to Qing Xianran. He introduced Qing Xianran to everyone in his circle. Qing Xianran was his first love, the girl he liked very much. I studied quietly, listening like everyone else to their love story told by others. Ching Xianran got a stomach ache late at night from hunger after dancing, so the next day he brought her a low-fat dinner specially made by his family's nutritionist. A sports student from a neighboring school really liked Ching Xianran and cornered her in an alley a few days ago after school. I heard Jiang Qi beat him up pretty badly. This monthly exam, I was back in first place in the grade. The teacher had once told me not to worry about Jiang Qi, as it wouldn't do my studies any good. Jiang Qi's family was very wealthy, so academic performance didn't really matter to him. One afternoon after school, I propped my head on my hand and looked out at the magnificent sunset. Shenwan Tang, which university do you want to go to? On a sweltering evening, Jiang Qi sat beside me, his slender fingers casually playing with my long hair as he spoke nonchalantly. Without hesitation, I said, Beijing University. That far. Actually, I had never told him that the reason I wanted to go to Beijing University wasn't just because it was a top institution, but because I wanted to escape from here, escape from that home. My father, like many men, changed after getting money. My mother refused to divorce him stubbornly, believing it was because she hadn't given him a son that he sought other women outside. In the dead of night, she would hysterically point at me and cry, asking why I wasn't a boy, so father wouldn't have cheated. Later, she did give birth to a son. Father only briefly returned to the family. Mother, having a son now, devoted all her attention to him. Because she felt she finally had someone to rely on, a son to support her in her old age. Then Master Jiang will also aim for Beijing University. You're so silly, if Master Jiang isn't there to protect you, you'll probably be in a real mess. The boastful youth in front of me was the light in my days. I desperately tried to grasp onto this light. So I was willing to spend all my time on him, and even if I didn't end up getting into Beijing University, just getting into the same school as him would be enough. Rumors that Ching Xianran was a mistress started spreading in school. After I came back from the bathroom with my desk mate, Ching Xianran, covering her mouth and crying, ran past me down the stairs. Jiang Qi, chasing after her, suddenly grabbed my throat, as if he wanted to kill me. Shenwan Tang, didn't you say you wanted to stay far away from me? What's this all about now? I struggled to breathe. My desk mate beside me hurriedly tried to push Jiang Qi away. Are you crazy? Tang Tang and I just got back from the bathroom. Let her go, she can't breathe. At her words, Jiang Qi abruptly let go. I slumped, gasping for air. Shenwan Tang, you're truly disgusting. Tang Tang, are you okay? I crouched on the ground, coughing, tears falling. Ji Mengyi hugged me, gently patting my back. Tang Tang, it's okay. Jiang Qi and his girlfriend are just crazy about something. I wiped my tears, biting my lip to keep from sobbing. The look of deep hatred on Jiang Qi's face just now made me suddenly not recognize him. It seemed like he really wanted to choke me to death. The young man in my memories was gone, completely gone. Later, classmates cautiously showed me their phones. Someone had posted anonymously on the campus wall, accusing Ching Xianran of being the mistress who ruined my and Jiang Qi's relationship. Many believed it. The comments below were full of nasty insults towards Ching Xianran. The marks on my neck from being choked had turned red. I thought to myself that as soon as I got home after school, I would immediately post a post on the campus wall. But before I could, I got home first. My parents were both sitting on the sofa with gloomy faces, clearly waiting for me. I had a bad feeling. A glass cup was thrown at my feet, shattering. What did you do at school to offend Jiang Qi? My father slammed the table, his eyes wild with rage. Do you know our company's development has always depended on our cooperation with the Jiang Group? Are you trying to ruin your father, huh? I stood there, listening to my mother call me a worthless daughter, and my father demanding I go apologize to Jiang Qi. In the cold villa, I shivered, freezing all over. I didn't know, or had forgotten, how that criticism session ended, or how I was forced to go apologize to Jiang Qi. I actually wanted to tell him I didn't post that, but I would clarify things. But when the door opened, he looked down at me with an icy, piercing gaze. Those words remained unspoken. I lowered my head, bowed, and apologized. He just glanced at me indifferently, leaning against the doorframe. I don't want to see you at school anymore, Shenwan Tang. My parents nodded and bowed, repeatedly promising I wouldn't appear before him again. I mechanically raised my head to look at him. Under the cold white light, I couldn't seem to make out the expression on his face, or even his features anymore. At that moment, my self-esteem was completely trampled into the dirt. It was then I realized he and I were never from the same world. We were never on equal footing or in an equal relationship. The moon never descends because of people else. The moon falling into the well is just a reflection, all an illusion. And the kindness this young master showed me before was merely a momentary whim of youth. I shouldn't have anything. It was wrong from the start. That night, I packed my things. My parents arranged a school transfer for me. It's been almost 2 weeks since I transferred. I rented a place near the new school. That couple, afraid Jiang Qi would be angry if he saw me again, simply told me not to come back. West Side, East Side. Even though we're in the same city, without specifically seeking each other out, we wouldn't meet. Hey, Shenwan Tang, come watch me play basketball today. The boy speaking wore a black and white jersey, his up-tilted fox eyes full of smiles. When I first arrived, a girl in class told me, that guy is Lu Chen. He's famously handsome but also notoriously ruthless. The classmates around seemed busy with their own things, but I could feel their glances. Over these many days, I'd lost count of how many times Lu Chen had come to find me. They said this was Lu Chen's first time chasing a girl, and he'd been at it for so long. At this age, everyone about stories happening to them or around them. They said Lu Chen was a prodigal son turning over a new leaf. But a prodigal son is still tainted. I gently shook my head. I won't go. I still have homework to do. He glanced at the exercise book on my desk and raised an eyebrow. Shenwan Tang, you know I've been chasing you for 2 weeks. So? He chuckled softly. So why do you still reject me? By then, most people in the class had left. The sunset outside had begun, dyeing half the sky orange-yellow. I suddenly remembered a quote I'd once read, the evening breeze is free, the sunset is free, and I am. Shenwan Tang, you know, you always have this very contradictory feeling about you. The whistle blowing on the cut through the afterglow. I looked at him. He curled his lips. A sense of deadness and a determination. So I'm even more interested in you. I gave him a cold glance and kindly reminded him, the game has started. Today's match is against Lingqing No. 1 High School. His voice was husky, carrying a hint of something left unsaid. Unnoticed. I looked down at the problems. Finding it dull, he clicked his tongue and left. After he was gone, I looked up at the silent clock on the wall. That post on the campus wall. I had a feint who posted it. But what benefit was it to him? No. 4 High School was different from No. 1. The classrooms lost power at a certain time, so by 6:30. The classroom lights were out, only the light from the sunset outside remained. I packed my books and walked downstairs with my backpack. The gentle evening breeze blew the crabapple blossoms off the trees, scattering them on the ground, then carried them away. I stood there, blinking slowly, watching. Looking back on my short life, it was as powerless and helpless as these crabapple blossoms. Hey, isn't that Shenwan Tang? The voice pulled me back. I was about to leave. But I was stopped. 2 familiar faces looked shocked to see me here. Back when I was with Jiang Qi, I knew his friends, and we got along okay. Both holding water bottles, probably just back from the convenience store. Shenwan Tang, you really transferred here? I glanced at him, not understanding the implication of really, and just nodded. One of them, with a flat-top haircut, nudged the other and said, Wan Tang, you and Jiang Qi grew up together. He happens to be here today too. You could use this chance to clear up the misunderstanding. Everyone seemed to think I, Shen Wan Tang, wouldn't do such a thing. But Jiang Qi, who grew up with me, was certain I did it. Before I could finish, Jiang Qi interrupted coldly from not far away. Buying water takes this long? Or are you standing there talking to irrelevant people? He stood in the distance, his eyes as they swept over me, as if I were a stranger. Hearing this, they looked at me awkwardly and uncomfortably. I smiled. I'll go first. Bye. Okay, bye. Life at number 4 high was quiet, time passed slowly. Sometimes I'd dwell on things, wondering why no one loved me when I was so, always on the honor roll. When I was little, Mom said everyone likes kids with good grades. Later, when I grew up, teachers liked kids with good grades. They didn't. I studied quietly, waiting for exams, waiting for the college entrance exam, no longer waiting for anyone. My grades soared. In this exam of 100 schools, I took first place. Standing on the high podium, the warm summer wind blew my hair and billowed my school uniform. I looked down at the students in their matching blue and white uniforms. Their eyes held envy and admiration. The principal spared no effort in using every impressive word in the microphone to describe me. Outside the window, vines climbed higher. The cicadas grew louder. The sunsets became redder. The sound of reading in the hallway grew louder. Everyone wished they could hit the pause button and slow time down, just a little longer. I never saw Jiang Qi again. I seemed to have lost touch with all my old friends. Those friends could be called Jiang Qi's friends. After summer vacation started, I didn't go back to that home. That home was too close to Jiang Qi's. Since the day I went to number 4 high, the most they'd said to me was, "Don't let Jiang Qi see you again. If you ever run into him, go the other way." I'm 17 this year. Next semester, I'll be in my final year of high school. My parents never thought about whether I, about to enter my final year, might be anxious. They never cared about me at all. Under the dim streetlight, I sat on a bench, memorizing English passages. But it's okay. Every formula I write, every word and poem I memorize, every problem I solve, they will all carry me out of here, towards a better, brighter future. People walk by me, no one stops for anyone. Coming out of the library this afternoon, my phone rang. I answered. Silence on the other end. I frowned, glanced at the screen, no saved name. Tentatively, I said, "Hello?" Still silence. I hung up without hesitation. Shen Wan Tang. Lu Chen emerged from the across the street, waving, and ran over. Want to get something to eat? Holding my books, I looked at the people behind him hurriedly nudging each other to go on. I said, "I'll take something home. You go eat with your friends. Come on, eating takeout all the time is unhealthy. Let me treat you to a real meal." With that, Lu Chen pulled me along. He took me to a French restaurant. Everyone around was dressed in formal suits and gowns, even the waitstaff wore suits. Then I looked at Lu Chen and me in a loose white tee and blue denim shorts, him in his red and white jersey. We looked completely out of place. I quickly tried to stop him. Are you sure? Us, dressed like this, going in there? He blinked, puzzled. Isn't it just a place to eat? Hearing his honest reasoning, maybe it was. Before I could think it through, a waiter approached. Taking in our outfits, he smiled and asked, "Table for 2? Lu Chen nodded. All right, please follow me. The waiter smiled, leading the way. He led us straight to a window seat. Then asked, "Would you two like to see the view outside?" Lu Chen gestured towards me with his chin. I checked the time, it was around 6, should be sunset time. I nodded slightly. He smiled. All right. Then, pressing something somewhere, a beam of warm yellow light suddenly streamed in through the dark-tinted window. My mouth opened slightly. Amazing. When I came to, the waiter was gone. He handed me the menu. See anything you like? The prices weren't cheap. I hesitated. Lu Chen smiled and asked, afraid you'll eat me broke? Half his face was bathed in the light, the golden glow falling on him, starlight twinkling in his eyes. I answered honestly, everything seems a bit expensive. Don't worry, Master Lu can definitely afford it. Order whatever you want. I handed the menu back. You order. I don't have any dietary restrictions, and I'm not picky. He took the menu, teasing, not bad, easy to take care of. How do you like your steak? I said, I don't like it raw. He thought for a moment. Well done steak isn't good. Medium well okay? Sure. After ordering, I pointed at myself. Guess what I feel like right now? He took a sip of water, a slight smile curling his lips, playing along. Like what? Like Granny Lu entering the Grand View Garden. He laughed. Lu Chen had two shallow dimples when he smiled, sunny and warm. Looking at him, I suddenly thought of Jiang Qi again. I hadn't thought of him in a long time. But he also had one dimple when he smiled. He didn't smile much, usually, he just curved his lips slightly. I used to poke his dimple and say, you should smile more. You look good when you smile. Then Qing Xianran transferred, and he started smiling more. Sweet smiles, doting smiles. Thinking back now, there's a saying that fits perfectly. He just didn't smile much around me. The meal started as the sunset was at its peak, and ended when it was dark outside. Leaving the restaurant, the square was full of people. Shen Tang, I'm really happy today. I looked up at him. He looked down at me, smiling. Today's my birthday. What? I stared at him in shock. It's your birthday? You should have let me treat you. Why didn't you tell me earlier? He sighed, putting on a pitiful act. I was afraid if I told you, you wouldn't eat with me. I said, that's not true. I would have. After a moment, I thought about getting him a birthday gift later. Suddenly, warm breath brushed my face. He leaned in close, his voice husky. Thinking about what gift to get me? He had bleached his hair blonde and gotten in trouble for it. The wind from all directions blew through his hair. He looked like a golden retriever. I want that scented pouch from before. Once, when he came to find me, I was packing up, and the scented pouch in my bag fell out. He picked it up, looked at it, dangled it, and asked me, can I have it, Shen Tang? I refused then, because that pouch was originally meant as a birthday gift for Jiang Qi. I had embroidered the pattern on it stitch by stitch. Even though it wouldn't be given to him now, it didn't feel right to give it to Lu Chen either. Like giving him something someone else didn't want. I nodded firmly. Okay, but you'll have to wait a few days. I'll make you a new one. On the way back to my place, Lu Chen asked me for the first time, Shen Tang, where do you want to go to university? I looked up at the sparse stars in the sky. Beijing University. Why? Because I don't like it here. It never snows here. I want to see snow. Lu Chen looked down, lost in thought. He just nodded. We slowly reached the front of my rented room. He said, go on in. Bye. I walked a few steps, then turned back. The boy in his jersey stood in the shadows, a faint smile on his lips, his eyes dim. At that moment, my heart trembled. I waved at him. Lu Chen, happy birthday. Hearing me, he raised his hand and waved back, smiling. Shen Tang, you'll definitely get into Beijing University. I always thought Lu Chen and I had time. But I still wanted to finish the pouch quickly and give it to him in person. Not knowing if he liked the smell of mugwort, I bought other dried flower materials. I embroidered two for him, one shaped like A, one with a red lion pattern, and one with a cyan dragon pattern. Finished, I strung them together, looking at them in the sunlight. Imagining how Lu Chen would react when he saw them. Getting off the bus, I eagerly ran towards Lu Chen's neighborhood. But when I got there, workers were moving things in. I